Bushfires are not good. They are bad. Australian bushfires are an annual event that has affected the region for many decades. Australia has a relatively dry climate with extremely high temperatures during the summer. These conditions cause the dry underbrush to be easily ignitable. The result is a deadly inferno that wipes out any plant or animal in the path of the fire. Imagine being one of those animals in the path. Horrifying. We chose the topic because not only is it a regional problem, but it is a global problem. This should raise attention to the impacts of climate change and address the issues it causes. The fires have been steadily getting worse over the past few years, and new concerns have been raised over how the fires could be affecting air, water, and soil quality. These devastating blazes have negatively impacted Australia's biodiversity. Also, the vegetation that is burned by these bushfires is not able to recover by the next bushfire season, putting them at an even greater risk when that next bushfire eventually ignites. Over the years, concerns have been voiced about the bushfires potentially negatively affecting the water quality. So scientists in New South Wales conducted studies to determine if the large amounts of ash from the bushfires have compromised the local water sources of the affected areas. They looked at one spot where fires burned and found that while the raw, untreated water in the area was very dangerous and not suitable to consume, the treated water was still perfectly safe to drink. The scientists concluded that as long as there is an effective treatment center available, then water quality should not be a concern for the residents. But if you get water from a random stream, you're screwed. Now, studies by scholars in JAMA Internal Medicine reviewed that there was also concern over air quality and how the lung function of individuals. They found out that the smoke from the bushfires contains tiny particles called PM2.5 that can get deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream, which can cause inflammation and other health problems. If someone has asthma, their asthma will only get worse. People with heart conditions will be more susceptible to having a heart attack. As for the younglings, they're more likely to have breathing problems. This is sad. Biodiversity was perhaps the most important concern. In 2020, the period known as Black Summer resulted in the deaths of 33 people and over 3 billion animals. A mass genocide, you could say. This loss was not only tragic for the animals, but also for the environment as a whole. While the water quality was studied and found to be somewhat affected by the fires, there was much less data available on the effects on biodiversity and air quality. The articles we highlighted focused more on preventative strategies to mitigate the effects of the fires, instead of preventing any malignant effects from the fires. However, these disciplines of water quality, public health, air quality, and biodiversity work together to find out how these fires could affect human health and the fragile ecosystems of Australia. They analyzed data collected before, during, and after the fires with a focus on understanding long-term impacts. We want to be able to understand if we as humans can change the pace and destruction caused by these fires to keep the environment healthy and clean. Popular media has been rather consistent with what peer-reviewed research suggests. Popular media is pushing the information out about how deadly and destructive the bushfires have been to the wildlife, the air quality, the water quality, and the amount of people who have lost their lives to these bushfires, and the research supports all of these claims. Overall, The media has done a good job of covering the events, especially during the Black Summer, which resulted in a lot of people becoming aware of the fires for the first time. It was helpful for those experiencing the fires to know what was going on, as well as for those around the world to acknowledge and assist those in need, as well as adding one more reason to not visit Australia.